Welcome to MacroCode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to do our enhancements on the employees management system. So this is episode 31 of our series. As you can see, we have our dashboard. So this is our dashboard of the application for those who are new to this channel. Then we have the HR and payroll. We have the employees list. So we'll be now enhancing this application to ensure that we have everything completed. Then we have holidays. You can actually add a new holiday, as you can see. Then we have leave adjustments. So leave adjustments here can be done by the HR, and also it is deducted based on your leave applications. Then you also have the leave balances. You can see the leave balances based on the employees. For example, this employee, James, you can be able to see the leave amount allocated and the leave balance they have, and you can do an adjustment. So the adjustment can be a positive or negative adjustment. Then you also have the leave periods. So you can actually add a new leave period. You indicate these particular details and you save. Then you have leave applications. So under leave applications, you have the leave types. You can define various leave types that are there. Then you also have, you can now do leave applications. On this section, you can actually add a new leave application, and you can see, you can choose an employee, the leave days. So we are going to change how this is done. So here, we are going to change this and ensure that it is actually role-based, so that whenever someone that is logged in is able to actually create this. So this will be an admin kind of a section, so that we don't allow users to apply leave for others. So here you have leave days, then leave type, then you can actually select a document. So I've picked one of the documents, then you can provide the notes, then you save the leave application. So as you can see, this is the leave, this is the attachment, and you have the status. You can see this is awaiting approval, and we have all the approval workflows. Then we have under leave applications, we have the approved leave applications, and we also have the rejected applications. So you can see they all have colors. Then the next thing is under system security, where we have the system users. You can add a new user, you provide the details, you tie them to a role. Then you also have the system profiles. So this is where we now define the rights within the application. So you can add a new profile, you select the profile ID, and these are kind of some actions or modules or sub-modules within the app. Then once you are done with that, you have the system roles. You can create new roles, and from here you can assign the rights to the roles. Then you also have system profiles. You can create the profiles. Then we have the system audits. So every time we are creating a new entry, so the system kind of track the applications. So you can see this is the leave type. It was created on this date. At the end here, you'll be able to note that we have our entries. So you see this is the entries that are being done. So system tracks every entry within the application. Then we have the approval entries. So every time you send a request for example, leave application for approval, then it is actually tracked. So we have leave that is the approval entries, and it is being tracked based on the person who approved, and it is actually multi-level approval. You can see for this record, there are 3 approvers. So we have the leave application sequence. Number 1 is our approver is John. Then number 2 is Tom. Number 3 is Purity. So this leave was sent by Obadiah Kingo. So this is the same person who sent, but it has to be approved by these 3 guys. Then we have the workflow user group. You can define the workflow user group. Then we have approval user matrix. You can define that. Then you have the designations. So you can define that. Then we have the departments. You can define the departments. Then we have the banks. You can define the system banks and also users banks, the countries. Then we have the towns, cities, and the system codes. Then you have the settings. So on our previous video, when we were dealing with the approval entries. So one of the challenges is, for example, when you are applying for creating a new record, and maybe someone has to approve, you'll note that these entries will actually grow, and it will actually depend on the kind of document that is sent for approval. For instance, this is leave application. So whenever someone sends a leave application, the approver should be able to open that particular record. If they click open, it will take them to the particular leave details. But assuming that this is another kind of document type, for example, it is a salary advance. So for the salary advance, someone should also be able to open it. So whenever we are creating approval entries, we should be able to know or indicate the kind of document that this is, the kind of document that this record belongs to. So here we have said a leave type, but whenever you come to the code, so if you go to approval entries, so I'm going to the approval entries. So let me just go to approval entries. So we have approval entries under index. You will note that for this particular record open, we've tied it to this controller leave applications. But now this can change. So this can change. So this can be another particular kind of document. So we need to have this section of ours actually be dynamic. So to have this dynamic, then that means we need to do some changes to our model. So that is under approval entry. So if we come to approval entries, we need now to introduce something here unique. So we are going to add here, I'm going to add something here called controller name. So I'm going to add something here called controller name. So here will be our controller name. So this controller name will be able to be dynamic based on a, so we'll just do controller name. Then remember, whenever we do anything, we change anything on our model, we need to do tools, NuGet package manager console, and we need to add the, so we need to add that. So I'm going to log this down here. So I'm going to dock it. Then I'm going to say this is add migration. Then I'll just say controller name approval entry. So if I do that, it will add this particular column. So which is so let me just, so it will add this particular column. So has started, so let's just wait. So for those who are new to this channel, consider subscribing, and for those who are following this series, we are sorry for delaying the completion of this, but we are going to make sure that we have completed this. So this controller name will be added to our table called approval entries, and we are going to update the database. So I'm just saying update database. So if we update the database, then this will be created. So our table will be, that is our field will be added to that particular table. So we notice 90% of you guys have been following this series and you've not subscribed. So if you are one of them, please consider subscribing, like the video, and share. So now our controller name has been added to our approval entries table. That means whenever we are doing leave application, so I'll just go to my leave application, and there is somewhere we were adding our approval entries. You see, this is where we were generating our approval entries. So we need to pass our controller here. So I'll just be passing my controller here. So I'll say controller name. So if I just do that, and I need now to supply my controller name here. So I'll just, instead of doing that, so what I need to do, I'll just do that, and I'll pass this. So what I'll need to be reusing. So this is my controller name. So what is wrong with this? Oh no, we actually updated our controller name as int. So this should be string. So let's just do that, update. We need to run our migration again. So that is the challenge of not being keen. So I'll just say 1. So it will actually now change our column name from string to, from int to string. So it will need, we will need to update that. So we need to run the migration. So our build is succeeded, and there we go. So I'm going to update the database again. So if we update the database, then that's how all goes. So if you're new to this channel and you're following this series about employees management, then you can like the video and subscribe. So if we go to our application, then you'll notice that this is now controller name, leave applications, and it should actually match the controller name here. So when we now go to our approval entries, index, we should actually change, instead of doing this, because we don't know the kind of record that will come there. So instead of doing this, add coding here, we need to change this, because you remember, assuming we have different types of document and everyone, the system will be dynamic. So we'll have a lot of entries that needs to be approved. It can be a leave application. It can be a payment document. It can be even a request for an asset in the company. So all those approval entries needs to happen. And for us to avoid add coding, assuming how many times can you add code this particular line? It will be a lot. So what we need to avoid is to avoid that. So we can do that. We can say item. So we'll just do item, then dot controller name. So this will pass the controller name here, and the record ID is generic. And we also know that every A section will need to have our details. So this one you can say details. And if, for example, if we need to change this, if someone we need to change how the action and the pages that they need to open, we can always make this as well dynamic. So for now, I'm going to leave it that way. So if I just launch my app, I should now be able to open that particular record. But for now, we've just added that particular column. So for now, when we try to access it, it will not take us to the right controller. So if I go to our applications, it's actually under administration approval entries, then I'll try to access one. So if I try to access, I open this, it will not take me to the correct page, meaning that table doesn't have that particular controller name. So what we need to do is we need to create another leave application. So I'm going to initiate a new leave application. I'll just say Aaron, do that. I don't know if Aaron is part of the, so let me just say, yes, Caleb. Then do that. I don't know if they have an approval matrix, but let me choose Obadiah because I'm sure of them. So if they have an approval, we also need to have controls. If someone tries to apply a document, so if someone tries to apply a leave application and they don't have a workflow, we need to flag it. So if I submit my leave application, so if I go to my, so we need to check which is the, so this is the leave application that I've done currently. So if I go to my approval entries, I should check the latest document. So which is the latest document? So you can see the latest one is this one. The latest one is this one. So here, if I try to open, you can see it is now opening my leave application, meaning our controller name has been supplied to the database. So if I try to open this one again, you can see it is opening. So that is how you make this dynamic. So assuming even we add another particular document for approval, which we are going to do as we go along, then you should be able to do that. So when we come to, so that is something that we have done with approval entries, but we are going to finish this later. So I want us to start cleaning our project. We've been running across all these sections and we've not cleaned most of our sections. So if you go to the first bit, which is the add employee, you'll notice that we have our add employee button, where we have the employee number, first name, middle name, last name, all this information. So this is cool. So what I need us to do is on our employees list, you'll notice that you have our employee number, full name, phone number, email address, leave number, then all these information here. Then you have some section to search. So you can search an employee by these particular fields. Then you also have our holidays. So you can see we have the title, all this information. So here, instead of displaying created by, you can always display full name. So let's just go to holidays. So we need to clean our project so that it looks a bit cool. So here, instead of created by, you can do created. Yeah, so here, we don't have the created. So this created by, not sure why it's, okay, I see it's a model, it's a view model. So created by, where is it? So we have the holiday. So if we go to holiday view model, we have the user activity. Our user activity doesn't have the created by. Yeah, so this is the challenge. So you should always know that the created by section should borrow from. So this one, we should actually change this. We should say public application user. We should tie that the created by user should come from our application users. And this is something we should have done. So these are some of the controls that we need to put in place. We should enforce that. Even if it's dropping users or records, we can do that. Then modified by, the good thing, it is nullable. So I'm going to add that. Then another thing, approved by, we should always have that. So this should be approved by. So you can always modify that. So this is how it looks. So as you know, once you do that, we need to do a migration. So I'm going to add migration. Then I'm going to do, so I'll just clear. Then I'm going to add, so this is a users foreign key, users foreign, I'll just do foreign key. So if I just add, so it should actually modify all this if there is no challenge, but we can actually face some issues if, let's just see what it will do. There we go. So you see we have some challenges. So let's try and rebuild our project and see what is the issue. So we have created by, I'm sure it is on the view, and holidays. We should have retained, yes. So let's just retain this to created by. We can now say created by, then we can say full name. So if we do that, then I'm going to our project now, clear, then add that. So this should now create. So I'll show you how we will now get the user. So if this works, then we should be able to proceed, but I believe it had an issue or something. So let's just see. There we go. There, migration has been created. We can now update our database. I can update database. So press enter. So there we go. So if you're new to this channel and you are watching our video, please consider subscribing, like our video, and share with others. So you can see a lot of migrations are happening. I think we had done a lot of updates and we had not run migrations, so there is conflict. You can see alter tables and configure with foreign key constraint. The conflict occur in column ID. So the table statement for banks. So let's just check our banks. So we need to, that's now the challenge when you are now modifying some important keys. So let's just check our table for banks. So let's just check even it's been a while, the database name. So I'm going there. So then the database, then our employees database. table. Then I'm going to our banks. So even if we are going to drop some records, we can do that so that we are able to. So for the banks here, you can remember, yes, you can see modified by is not a, so I'm going to delete. So I'm going to drop. So I just say delete from banks. So if we do that, foreign key, bigger database, employees, column, bank ID, what? So yes, we can actually update. So let's just update instead of deleting. Can say update, modified by. So you can update banks. So let's say set modified by ID null. Yes, so everything, just update everything. Let's just go back to our tool. Then we can update the run a migration again. So that was the challenge. So our modified by ID was text instead of being a reference key to our users table. So let's confirm. So it is actually modifying all the records. There we have also another challenge. So the alter table created, banks created by table, that is the challenge. So also let's just see the created by, what is created by for the banks. Yes, it is also macro code text, which is not the correct ID. So you can say update banks. I can say set created by. So we can select from employees. So you can take one of the ID here, or even users. Select star from users, SPNet users. So I want us to take one of the ID of the user here. So let's take this user here. So I can set this ID. So it should actually, all the users, all the records should borrow the user IDs from this table. So let's do something again. So I'll clear, then update. So if everything goes well, then we should be able to update all those columns. So there we go. This is what we should have done before going that far. So there we go, there we go. We have a challenge, countries as well. So I'll just go back to my table and say countries. So I'll update that. I can also say modified by, then I can set this as well so that we don't get repeating ourselves. So if I do that, it will update that with all those. There we go. Go back again. So until we have this fixed, guys. So until we have this fixed, sorry. So I'll update my database. So there we go again. It's checking across the tables. So let's just hope we did not add code the users for all the sections. So we have another error, departments. Oh, we have departments. So I'm going to update these across. So let me just do departments, designations, because I'm sure that was the trick. Then you can do leave applications. So I'm going to do that. I'm also going to do employees. I'm going to just have it as one. Then I'm also going to do holiday. Then I'm going to have it that. Which other one? Leave periods. Do that. Which other one? Role profiles. I'm going to have it that way. doesn't have that. System codes, I'm going to have it that way. System code. So I'm going to update all the so that we don't get any challenges. So let's just launch our run now the migrations again. So I think we had coded some user tables when we were creating the app initially. So you'll forgive us for that. So let's just proceed and see. So we ensure our app is up and running. So we have another table, leave applications approved by. So we have leave applications. We have someone called approved by, approved. So these leave applications. So here you'll say approved, approved by. So I'm going to have all of them assigned to this particular user for now. So here I'll just do that. Update. So if we update, run our migrations again. So we need to have that foreign key, guys, so that as we go along, the application is becoming bigger and we need those constraints there, and we need to ensure that everything is okay so that we don't get some errors when we are going to complete our app. We have another leave types as well. So we have leave types. And that means going forward, we are now going to use the user who is logged in. So I'm going to remove this, so update that. We're going to use the user who is actually logged in. Yeah. So there we go. So there we go, there we go. So let's hope it's now done. So for those who are watching this video and you've been following, remember to subscribe and like our video. We have the system profiles. So we have the system profiles, system profiles, system profiles. There we go. Execute that as well. So clear. I think we're almost done. So there we go. So it's updating. So we are just ensuring our foreign keys are well aligned for the users, because I think we were passing some keys, that is strings, when we were creating, but now we need to tie it to the actual users in the system. It's done, guys. So I think that's okay. So that means for all our controllers now going forward, we need, you see, whenever you're doing create, we need to ensure that the user is actually not hard coded. And one of them is our leave applications. I think we were passing, I'm not sure. User ID, where are we getting? I think we changed this. So you can see for some of the IDs are okay. So employees, I'm not sure if we changed that. Yes, we changed it. So I think we are cool. So if we go back to our app, relaunch the app, even if before even going back, let's go back to holidays. You remember here, we need to pass the person who is actually logged in. And we wanted to pass the user, not the user ID. So let's just check. So let's just check on our app. So it's launching. So for those who are watching and you want to get the source code, you can claim the source code using the link below. So I'm going to do that and then just say, just pass my credentials. And I said also we are going to change our UI. So if you are following, so the next thing, so let's just go to our, where were we? We were on holidays. So if I click holidays, you'll notice that the created by ID is not displaying. That means if we go to our index under holidays, we were doing holidays as queryable, and you can do that. But here I can now do here, I can do dot include. So I can do x, then I'll do x dot created by. So if I do that, then I'll now pass my view model. So you see these holidays. I'll pass my view model there, then I should be able to see my created by user. So that is one way. So let's just see, and so let's just see. So there we go. So I'm going to log in. Let's just say, so if I click login, there we go. So I'll go to holidays, and you should see now I have my username. That is the username we created. Then you can make these a bit cool. So what we need to do is we can go to our model. So this is our model. So here I can say, I can do here display name. So you do there. Then I can say number. I'll just say number. Then I'll do this holiday name. Then I can do here start date. So it's always good to also have this. So I'll just do start date. Then I can do here end date. Then I can do here description. I'll just do here description. And the good thing also, you remember this is actually inheriting some properties from user activity. So you can always also decorate this. You can say this is created by. So I'll just do that. Can do here created by. Can also do this created on. Can do this modified by. I'm going to remove that. So I'll say modified. So this is modified. Modified by. Sorry. So I'll say modified by. So this is modified by. It will not be an ID, but modified by. Then what's wrong here? So this is that's cool. Then here I'll just do, let me zoom. I'll say modified by, then it is modified on. I'll say here modified on. I'll also have these approved by. Can reuse this, and it is approved on. If I do that, then I can now relaunch my app, and we should be good to go. So let's just wait and see. So if you're new to this channel and you're following this series, consider subscribing, like the video, comment down below. And if in case you need the source code, you can get the source code, you can claim the source code, as we are going to complete this app with you guys. So I should have passed my wrong password. We will just log in, then go to holidays now. You'll notice that now my holidays is title, start date, end date, description. So there's something wrong. So you see on our holidays, you can actually go back to the index, and you'll notice that we have our view model, this one. So this view model as well, you need to change. You can say this is holiday name. holiday name. So you can have start date, end date, description. Yeah, that's cool. So that is it. So you can see we have all these information here. Then we are going now to ensure and clean all these application. Then we are also going to have our dashboard with some analytics. So if you're following this video, like the video, comment down below, and actually subscribe so that you don't miss out on anything. So I'm going to leave it there for today, as we actually today was just finishing some of the items that we left, and also trying to equip ourselves on the update and where we left, so that we are going to progress. So see you in our next video. Bye.